Robert DeLong não é um nome que toda a gente conheça, mas isso promete mudar. O jovem produtor americano está cada vez mais popular e atua no Vodafone Mexefest. You were born in Seattle and you're now based in Los Angeles, is that correct?
That's right, yep.
When did you move to Los Angeles?
I moved to Los Angeles about 8 or 9 years ago when I was just right after graduating high school, so secondary school.
Do you feel more Seattle or LA now, would you say?
I'm sort of a hybrid. I'm sort of both, I guess. But yeah, I mean, I'm definitely a Seattle person, you can see. But yeah, I don't know. I love LA. LA is a good party town, and there's a lot of good music in LA.
The idea I have of like Seattle and the whole Washington state is that it's kind of gloomy, and then it's obviously, you know, I'm being very succinct over here. But and LA is kind of more like upbeat, you know. So it's like a mix of both. Is it a balance or like more of a bipolar thing?
I suppose more of a bipolar thing. That was part of the reason I moved away from Seattle, is just that I couldn't stand the rain anymore, and got to LA and it's all sunny all the time there, so it's great.
I think I can speak for most Portuguese people that would be with you on that one, I think. Do you think that reflects in your music, like the geography?
Absolutely. I think that my songs definitely are sort of rooted in the kind of Seattle songwriter sensibility, but I definitely take a lot from the Los Angeles sort of dance vibe and all the kind of, you know, I don't know, sort of that sort of thing. So I think definitely it's sort of a hybrid with those two things.
I don't mean to be trite with my question, but you know, it's something that I've asked with to Washington State musicians. It seems to me like Washington State has a great tradition in hardcore and very creative hardcore bands. Like I mentioned this a lot, but it's like Blood Brothers and Idiot Pilot, for instance, from Bellingham. Do you think that were you like into that sort of hardcore scene when you were younger? I mean, you moved to LA early, but you know.
Definitely. I mean, I remember going to see the Blood Brothers down at the Grange Hall down the street from my house when I was in like junior high or high school or something. Wow. So it's I was you know, I was definitely a part of that scene, though. I was definitely more a part of the indie scene kind of growing up, and you know, kind of the indie rock thing. But yeah, I definitely was influenced by all that stuff and went to a lot of those concerts growing up.
Which bands were like the earliest triggers to you wanting to make music?
That's funny, you know, I mean, I'd say the first thing I really listened to a lot when I was a kid was Pat Metheny, which is kind of a funny thing.
I love Pat Metheny.
Yeah. Which is, yeah, that was kind of what got me going. I was into a lot of kind of pop punk and stuff in junior high, and then I got into
Link some.
Yeah, all that stuff, you know.
Today.
Yeah. But then, you know, growing up in Seattle, there was always like, you know, Modest Mouse and Death Cab. Those were really strong presences. So it's kind of like, you know, Dave Bazan, all that kind of stuff. So that kind of, you know, indie songwriting kind of always crept into what I did.
Curious thing with you, in which you use video game joypads and joysticks as controllers to trigger sounds live and stuff.
You know, using a joystick, and I use a Wiimote, and I use a gamepad and stuff like that. It just kind of came out of, you know, I owned all these things, and anything can trigger a sound on a computer once you learn how to hack it. So it was just kind of a natural progression, and it's really exciting for people to watch. So.
Yeah, it is unusual.
Certainly.
But it's kind of telling that you're really good at some video games.
Actually, you know, it's funny. Somebody had written that about me, but I actually don't play video games at all. I've never really gotten into video games, so I was just, it was always, I had the controllers and stuff laying around, but yeah.
I was imagining like you were like a total, what do you mean, total pro at like Halo or something.
Not at all, no, it was actually, it's kind of funny. I mean, that's the reason that, I got so good at music is because my parents never allowed me to have video games. So I just spent all my days, working on Acid at the time. It was the software I used to use. But yeah, now I use Logic and stuff. So.
Would you say Global Concepts is about perception, or the perception of perception?
Yeah, I think it is definitely about perception, and then kind of how you see yourself in the universe, and kind of how how a person manifests their reactions to music, something like that.
Okay, cool.
Or whatever.
Or whatever.
Hey, this is Robert DeLong, and you're watching Genaissance C.
I've had a great time. I hope you